So join me back in the LT. This is the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, it's a 26-year-old van. Things are going to happen, but I'll show you what I've done. So this is the floor. This plate lives on top of the floor, like so. I trod on it, and it went through. So the two brackets there, same as these here. These gave way and pulled out. So you can look at the screw. It's a 20mm screw and rotten and old. So I've got a solution. We're going to clean this up and we're going to put some new braces in, and it will all be as good as gold. Okay, for my solution, I've got a 15mm birch. I have 4 screws, 30mm. That can live in there, like so. But to add to that, I'm also going to use a construction sealant adhesive. I've used it plenty of times. It's super strong. So with the screws and the glue in, it should be good. So let's get them glued up and we'll get those braces fitted. Job done. Once that adhesive sets, it's going to be super strong. This can now live quite happily, although I may actually just end up making a new lid, because it is trying to delaminate a bit. But yeah, give that 24 hours and there's no chance of me falling through that again now. Morning, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to work on the LT Missouri again, and we're going to fit a Lagun table leg system. This for me is the best table leg system that you can buy for your vehicles, and I'm going to show you how we fit it, what we need to do, any modifications. So let's take a look at the kit and see what we get. Okay, so in the kit we get this plate here. This is what mounts to your seat base or wall in your camper van or motorhome or boat or yacht, and this is what the leg sits to. We also have the leg system itself that is a height adjustable system running up and down this leg, and this here is the base that your table screws to. So let's open it up a bit more and have a look. Hey, join me in the Missouri. Now we're going to get this table leg system mounted. We need to get this plate fitted. This one here. This is what the leg slides on. So we'll spin the camera around and I'll show you what I've got planned. Okay, so this is the U-shaped seating area, and I want the table leg to mount in the middle at the back there. Now we do have an overhang on these, and I've had a little measurement and a little look around the workshop to see what I've got, and I've got 2 pieces of birch ply there. The front one is a 15mm piece birch ply and the back one is an 18mm birch ply. Now that all but covers the problem with filling out the recesses on the bench. So what we can do is I can make a 15mm and an 18mm plate, same size as this, get them glued and screwed and bolted together. Then we can work out where the bolt holes are going to go to get this secured to that wall. So let's get those plates made. Okay, so as we can see, I've got these 2 cut now, so they can be glued and screwed together. And that will give something like so. Connected to the wall of the motorhome for the table to go to. So let's go for the next step, getting this glued and screwed together. I'll mark these holes onto this board so I know that when I screw up backwards with screws to secure the 2 pieces together, that I'm not going to interfere screws with bolts. Okay, so that piece of 18mm and that piece of 15mm are all glued and screwed. These screws are countersunk, so they're not going to interfere when we put it to the wall of the van. We can then get our holes drilled onto our plate and send them all the way through, and all the way through what will be the wall of the van also. And we can get those bolted up from inside of the garage under the van, and there's absolutely no way that's going to move. Super supported, super strong. That'll be just fine for our table leg. Okay, join us back in the motorhome here. You can see we've made our block that our Lagun table leg mount is going to go to, and we want to position this into the middle of the van, somewhere around here. So we'll get the tape measure, make sure we've got the same distances either side, and then we can mark our holes, drill through, and then it's a case of just fixing up with the bolts. Okay, so the mount is in position. We've got the bolts that are going through our plate, through our mount we've made, out through the other side. Then they are fixed through a piece of 3mm aluminium as a spreader plate, a washer, and a nut on the end. So the bolts that you get in the kit were far too short for my application, so I did have to buy new ones. And the ones I've got are a stainless bolt again, so there's no chance of it rusting. And as you can see, considerably longer to suit what we needed to do here. So we'll get these snugged down now, get this leg in and see how it's going to look. So that's ready now for the table to be fitted. As you can see from it, plenty of adjustment. We get a full 360 rotation. Obviously with a table on, that's never going to happen. But underneath also, we can slacken off this under here, and you get full 360 on this also. So effectively you can put the table wherever you wish. Next job, table. The existing table for the van. We don't need this mount anymore. I'm not entirely sure what's gone on here. It's a bit of a war zone. But we can lose this. Okay, what we can do now is get this table into the van. We can square it up onto the mount and mark the holes, and then we can fix it in with the screws. What I want to do is make sure obviously that the screws that we put in aren't going to go through the other side of this board, otherwise that will make it for a bad day. Let's go get this tabletop fitted. Okay, so if I make my way around to the back of the table, try not to knock it off. If I sit here for a second, so at present, if I zoom out, there's comfortable room there, and if I just sit round now myself, so I'm sat here at the table. I've got the platform in front of me, I've got room, I'm comfortable, so I'm happy that this table is as far forward as it needs to go. So what I can do now is go underneath and draw a line across that base bottom, so that when I take the table off and I take the mount off and put it back on the table in the workshop, I can see how far forward this wants to be. The left to right and squaring can be done at the workshop table. All I want to know right now is how far forward this table wants to be, and I'm quite happy with how it is here. Okay, and underneath. So yes, it may not be square under here, but if I draw a line here and here, at least when I'm back in the workshop and the table is upside down and this mount is on it, I know that this distance here is how far I want the stand to be from the edge. That gives plenty of room to sit onto the seat and able to move around the table. So let's now remove this and take it into the workshop. Okay, I hope this is going to make more sense to you. So this is obviously the underside of the table, and what we have is the two lines that I drew that are at the back of the table on the U-shaped seating. So the mount will live like this. And I know I don't want this back edge to be any further forward than these lines. So now they're in place, what I want to be doing is measuring left to right. I just want to make sure that this will be in the middle. So we're at 235mm this side. It's pretty close. Just come this way a touch. So 236 and 236. So for me, I'm happy these two are in position. We'll measure the back. 221, 221. So I'm happy with this back line. I'm happy that those two are the measurements are the same. I'm happy that those two are the same. I'll just check these here. So 236 again, and 236 again. So this now is square to the position of the table, so I can now mark holes. We can drill and screw. Okay, so I have a bit of a concern about the quality of this wood and also the depth of thickness I can fix to. So I have made a plate. This plate is made out of 15mm lightweight furniture ply. So I will glue and screw this to here, and then screw through this down into the wood as well. So I can use probably a 25mm screw on this height, and I should get away with a 25mm screw this height as well. I'm going to be much more confident that this is secured properly and living on this than this just being on here. In place. Let's take a close look. So there it is. I'll zoom out. It's all fixed in. It's all in place. And as said about the manoeuvrability you have with the table, I mean, I can be up here now, get into cupboards, whereas before with the stand table mount, I would never be able to get round properly without having to take the table top off, and I get all the movement I need. I can put the table wherever I fancy. If I want it right out of the way, so we can be up in here, you know, we could be up in here in all our lockers, no problems at all, because the table's out of the way. If I want to lounge and say pop a telly on there, I'm chilled out, perfect. It really is a superb, versatile bit of kit. I appreciate it's not cheap 100%, you know. It is not a cheap bit of kit. It's about £160, but the versatility you get from it makes it absolutely worth it, in my opinion. Yes, there are a Chinese copy out there for around £60 to £70. People do say about problems with the mounts breaking and the handles breaking and bits, but I've fitted quite a few of these now, and every single time, never a problem. So there we go, one Lagun table leg mounted, and we've now got full versatility in our Missouri. Just because I can. Lagun table system is in. We also repaired the floor that I put my foot through, so that was a bit of fun. So go check out a Lagun table. I'm sure you've seen them around already, but the benefits that this gives to our motorhome and to campers and motorhomes that I've installed them in also are just second to none. They're brilliant. So what's next for the LT? We've got some Dodo products and we're going to put them into the cab. So we're going to be doing a cab sound deadening video. Now we want to make this sound a little less like a commercial vehicle because it is quite a noisy ride. So hopefully these Dodo products will help us out. So once again, thank you for watching the video. I appreciate it's been a bit bitty and long, but there's quite a lot to cover, and we'll hopefully catch you on the next video. Do hit the thumbs up, do subscribe for the channel for us please, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.